All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to High Button Sports here tonight. We have the Fundy Kraken at the Western Flames, and in case, assuming you were tuned in, you noticed that tonight is a special night for the Western Flames. It is the grad recognition night, so we'll have a little ceremony here pre-game to recognize our grade 12 and final year players. Sarah Duguay from the Fundy Kraken. Not sure if you can hear the announcements or not, so I'll repeat. That's number 19, Gabby Leger, or Leger. And number and number 22, Bria Ricketson. Number 16, Audrey Day. Riley Feltmate, number 11.
For the last 3 years, she's been part of the U18
So Riley Feltmate, number 11, looking at some health sciences next year. There we go, number 18, Captain Folks. Congratulations to Captain Folks. Couple more to go here. Claire Polches, number 10. Claire Polches going to St. Thomas, studying criminology. Addison Summers, number 12. And there we go. There are your class of 2026 Flames. I'll just do a quick angle check here after zooming the camera in. And as usual, great presentation to the seniors, class of 2026. If you tuned in early, you saw the reel of the grads rolling through in the pregame, and you'll see that again. I'll roll it between periods. We appreciate our sponsors, but tonight we'll appreciate our grads, and we're about to get underway. Once the racket settles down, I'll talk to you a bit more. And here we go. Back underway. Calling my first game for first time in a few weeks since the Flames have been here. We have a shot on net. That one's going to get covered up. So you'll notice we're in a slightly different area than usual. I was unaware, but St. Thomas has a game tonight over in our usual venue, so we were relegated over here to the Olympic side. So I'm in amongst the crowd, as you can probably kind of see down in the corner of the thing, so I'm not in my regular spot. I don't have my regular setup. Makes it a little more challenging to work here, but hey, we got it going. Here we are. And of course, you heard me reference that we are on the Olympic side, so we are on the second ice surface here. We are still at the Grant Hervey Center here in Fredericton, but we are on the second ice surface, which is an Olympic ice size surface, an official Olympic ice size surface. So neither of these teams practice or play on an Olympic ice surface that I'm aware of at any point. Definitely the Flames don't, I know for sure. I'm assuming the Kraken don't as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work and what they learn mid-game here on the Olympic ice. And I'm also trying to figure out my angles here. I think we've got most of the ice covered. You can't see any scoreboards here, but I'll keep you as informed as possible. With the score and the shots and the time. And as I say that, I realize my time is falling a little bit behind. We're just a minute in, and we have a face-off to the right of Yeomans, who has the start today for the Flames. Puck goes into the corner. Kimball throws it around the boards. It's going to be held in. Down low, below the Flames goal line. Kimball has it on the right-hand side. She sends it up the boards to Lawrence. Lawrence tries fishing it out, gets up to Dooland. Dooland in the neutral zone. She's going to dump it in. Out to play it is Gillies. Gillies in net today for the Kraken. Here comes LeBlanc through the neutral zone. 2-on-1 for the Kraken. Shot attempt. Low right corner on Yeomans, but she kicks it off to the corner. Puck's going down the other way. Icing's waved off. No score here, of course, early in the first period. Here come the Kraken into the Flame zone. Puck's going to be played in the corner by Daigle. She wraps it behind the net. Picked up. Sent around the other side. Held in by Marshall. Marshall dumps it into the corner. Daigle's going to be there first. She tries chipping up the left-hand side. Just barely clears the blue line before it's recovered. Kraken in their own end. Look to stretch up ice. That's picked off by Cook, I believe. Reversed behind the net by Bex. Puck's loose. Finally comes free here. Feltmate chips it into the Kraken corner. Here comes Wilcox. Wilcox goes cross ice. Boursier tries pinching it off. Puck ends up in the corner. Kimball's there first. Takes a stab at it, misses. Comes back the other way, goes past Nelson. Still down below the Flames goal line. Picked up by the Kraken. Comes back to Duguay. Duguay at the blue line. Shot through traffic. That misses wide left. Somerville sends it back to the point. Another shot through traffic. That ends up high, wide left. Lots of space out here on the Olympic ice. I can speak from experience. I play on this ice 2 or 3 times a week. And it is definitely different. Particularly if you're not familiar with playing on it, you have so much more time and space. But it takes a little bit of time to recognize that you do. That extra width really goes a long way. Puck still in the Flame zone. Centered. Here's Duguay. She's going to rip it back in. Yeomans sends that softly off to her left. Doolin tried sending it down below the goal line. Kraken pick it up. Kraken working down below the Flames goal line. Now Waterhouse. Waterhouse backhands it up to the right-hand side to Cook. Cook up to the neutral zone. She's picked off by LeBlanc. Back up to the middle. Johnstone picks that one off, keeps it down low in the Kraken zone. Gillies out to play it. Now coming back. I wasn't sure if we had shots on goal on the scoreboard here. We do. Shots on goal so far showing 3-2 in favor of the Flames. That one's a sharp angle shot. Bounces off to the side. Johnstone backhands it. Doesn't get very far. Someone's lost a glove in the crowd there. Here comes Bex. She's all alone. Rest of the Kraken going for a change. That one hits the linesman. Trying to hold my tripod down as best possible. I'm in a little bit of a precarious situation. This side of the ice doesn't... When I'm on the usual side for the Flames, and by usual side I mean always side, I have the actual broadcast booth in the other arena where I'm a little bit spoiled by my own space and having things down. I'm perched up here in the stands, trying to hold the tripod down from wiggling on you. Here's Sommers. Sommers, she throws it towards the net. That's chipped up into the net, and we have a stoppage of play, and it is 14 minutes even at the 14-minute mark of the first period. No score. Shots on goal still showing 3-2 in favor of the Flames. Face off to the right of Gillies. There, I got my clock back set up, and we'll keep that on track here now as best we can. Daigle from the point. She throws it towards the net. She misses wide right. Puck chipped that through the neutral zone. Kimball reverses it. Now Eason. Eason gets it over the blue line, but that's quickly picked up by Duguay. Duguay brings it back the other way. She takes a shot, hits shin pads. Now Johnstone in neutral zone. She's just going to throw it in. Rest of the Flames going for a change. Johnstone puts pressure. Here comes Duguay. Duguay, neutral zone. Johnstone pushes it ahead. Here's Dooland. Dooland in tight. And a goal! 13:21 of the first period. And it looks like we have Lawrence, Dooland, and Johnstone in on one. I think Lawrence got it, and it should be Johnstone and Dooland in on that goal. We'll listen for an announcement here. I don't have enough space here to set up I usually have my other, another device set up with the live score sheet to watch penalties and goals and stuff, but I'm where I'm set up. I can't do that, so I'll have to follow along or look between periods. So the Flames up 1-0 here, 12:51. First period, shots on goal showing 5-2 in favor of the Flames. Puck is going to make its way to the neutral zone. Boulier in the neutral zone. She backs all the way up into the Kraken zone. Sends it up the left-hand side. Legier She gets it into the flame zone. That's going to quickly come back by Waterhouse. Now Johnstone. Johnstone through the neutral zone. Shot on net. Makes its way to the corner. Cook is in there. Trying to find it. Boutelier behind the net. She sends it up the middle. Play's broken up. Feltmate's going to reverse in the neutral zone. Give it up to Nelson. Nelson tries chipping it into the corner. That's blocked. Boutelier again. She's behind the net. Sends out the right-hand side. Broken up by Daigle. Daigle tries dangling towards the net. Doesn't get very far. Long cross-ice pass to Cook. Here comes Cook. She's going to try and keep it deep. The rest of the Flames going for a change. Here's Dickey. Dickey gains the zone, puts the brakes on, throws it towards the net. Puck goes cross ice. That's going to be picked up by Sommers. Sommers pinned along the wall. That's Boursier there to help. Johnstone's there too. Boursier and Johnstone trying to fish it out. Sent around behind the net to Kimball. Kimball up the right-hand side. Centering puck. Here's Sommers. Sommers all by herself. Attempts the shot on net. Chips off to the corner. Johnstone picks it up. Johnstone sends it back to the point. Boursier throws it towards the net. That misses wide. Picked up on the other side by Kimball. She's going to wrap it around the boards. Johnstone might be there first. Race for it with Somerville. Somerville got there first. And here come the Kraken. Bex in the neutral zone. Bex nearly lost a handle on it, but regains control. Thrown into the Flames corner. Kimball's going to be there first. Kimball sends up the right-hand side for Lawrence. Lawrence up through the middle. Misses Doolin the target. 10-22 of the first period. Flames up 1-0 on 5 shots. Daigle gains the zone. Dumps it off for Lawrence. Lawrence throws it back towards the net. That's broken up. Puck behind the net. Kraken up the right-hand side. Chip it into the neutral zone. That play's broken up. Now Nelson with it. Nelson goes cross-ice to Daigle. Daigle up the right-hand side to Lawrence. Lawrence, she's pinned along the wall. Kraken again behind their own net. Send it up the right-hand side. Broken up by Polchis. Polchis tries chipping it into the corner. Can't quite get there. Definitely missed my usual vantage point here. A little harder to see some of the numbers and players involved. Here's Cook. Cook takes a shot. She hits shin pads. Now Rachel Folks. She's pinned along the wall. Cook gets it back to the point. Shot from the blue line. Doesn't make its way through. 9-10 first period. No score here. This is the last regular season meeting for these two teams. I'm not sure if the Kraken have another game left or not. Flames, one more game in the regular season tomorrow as they head to Moncton. They'll face the Rockets at the Qplex tomorrow in their final game of the regular season. So both of these teams, their position in the standings is set. Flames sitting in 8th position at a 9-26-2 record. And the Kraken at 1-36-0. So neither of these teams can change their position in their remaining games. And the playoffs will start next weekend. Three games next weekend, starting here at the Grant Harvey Center Friday, game 1 of the series. The time of that one is still to be determined due to a tournament happening here at the same time. The Capital City Classic happening at the same time. So Friday the 20th, game 1 of the series between these two teams here at the Grant Harvey Center. And I'll continue that here in a second. We have a penalty. And the Kraken are going to go to the power play with Daigle headed to the box. 7:42 of the first period. And the Kraken get the first power play of the game. So game 2. So I'll go back to the playoff schedule after the power play here. We'll face off to the left of Yeomans. Both face-offs getting tossed out there. Cross ice passed a Little. She tried the one-timer. Didn't get any of it. Again, over to Little. Little. She's going to send it back to the point. Boutelier. She's going to shoot through traffic. Hit a shin pad. Goes high off the wall. Clearing attempt by Feltmate. Doesn't get out. Little again. That one shot. That one made it through. Flames send it down. Kraken have to retreat back to their own end. 40 seconds gone in the Kraken power play here. Flames backing up to change their penalty killers during that dump. And the Flames will send it down again. Gillies have to play it. Boutelier picks it up behind the net. Boutelier. She sends it to her left. That's Little. Little to Leger. Leger over the blue line. Back to Little. Little looks for the cross ice pass. Stick on it by Cook. Gets it into the neutral zone. And we're down to 45 seconds left of the Kraken power play. Johnstone and Cook are your penalty killers. Leger, cross ice. Now Waterhouse digging for it in her feet. Makes its way into the neutral zone, just barely. Chip into the zone. Johnstone gets a backhand on it. And back into the neutral zone for Dickey. Dickey goes cross ice. Here comes Bex. Bex, she's hanging on to it. Goalie tapping her stick near the end of the power play. Little scramble in front. Cook gets a stick on it, sends it down the ice, and the power play has expired. Back to even strength, 5:36 of the first period. Flames leading 1-0 on the Lawrence goal from Dooland and Johnstone. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc chips it into the Flame zone. Bourcier's there to recover. Bourcier behind the net. She reverses. Bourcier sends it up the right-hand side to Lawrence. Lawrence tries centering it. Doesn't get out. It doesn't hit the intended target, Nelson, I guess, rather, but does get into the neutral zone. Puck back into the Flame zone. Wrapped around the boards. That's going to be intercepted. Lawrence up the right-hand side again. Gets it into the neutral zone. Stick on it by Nelson. Chips it ahead for Dooland. Dooland puts the brakes on. Takes a sharp angle shot. Hits the side of the post. Puck chipped up the right-hand side. Flames in a mid-change. Icing waved off. Waterhouse picks it up behind the net. Waterhouse looking up ice. She finds Polchis. Polchis cuts to the middle. Puck's knocked off her. It's into the neutral zone. Flames have to regroup. Back on Polchis again. She backhands it into the zone. Flames need to tag up again. They're still offside. That's going to give the Kraken a chance to break out here. Kraken taking advantage coming up through the middle. Dickey backhands it into the zone. They're offside now. Puck deep in the Flame zone for Waterhouse. Waterhouse sends it around the left-hand side. That's intercepted. Here's Sommers. Sommers by herself at the red line. She's going to dump it in and head to the bench for a change. Flames changing everybody. 3:47 now left in the first period. 1-0 for the Flames. Shots on goal still showing just the 5-2. Hasn't budged for quite a while. Thought maybe the Kraken had a shot or two during that power play, but didn't register. That one's going all the way down the ice. And it'll come back to the Flame zone for a face-off. And we are at 3:29 here in the first period. And I also just realized we didn't get the score on there. So the Flames are leading 1-0. My bad. Face-off by Johnstone. She wins it to the corner. Couple of Kraken quick on it, though. Johnstone trying to knock it free. She gets up the left-hand side. Sent up the wall. Back into the neutral zone again. Johnstone backhands it up the right-hand side. Smith, again, dumps it down. All the Flames go for a change. 3 minutes even now of the first period. Shots on goal still haven't changed up on the board, so that's all I can see. Here comes LeBlanc for the Kraken. LeBlanc gains the blue line. Puck deep in the Flame zone. Back to the blue line. Down in the Flames corner. Centering pass attempt. Nelson gets a stick on it, knocks it off to the side. Daigle up the left side for Captain Folks. No, that's not Folks' story. My bad. I thought I saw the 8, not the 18. That was doomed. Lawrence knocks the puck free. Right back on to the stick of the Kraken, though. Yes, Duguay sends up the right-hand side. Duguay to Somerville. Into the neutral zone. Mills. Here come the Kraken again in the neutral zone. Under 2 minutes now left in the first period. Flames up 1-0. Long throw at the net from the point. Misses wide right. Pass over to Lawrence. Lawrence got a stick on it, but she was behind the red line, so that's going to be icing, and it'll come back to the Flame zone. So going back to the playoffs, next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 games in a row. So Friday here at the Grant Harvey Center, time is unknown at the point. Saturday, the 21st, down at the Q-Plex in St. John, 3:45 will be game 2 at the Q-Plex. And then Sunday, 11 a.m. back here at the Grant Harvey Center on the 22nd. So 20th, 21st, 22nd, next weekend, games 1, 2, and 3 of the playoffs between these two teams will be right underway. And again, tomorrow, the Flames playing their last regular home season game at the Avenir Center in Moncton at 12:30 against the Rockets. Puck loose in the slot, in the Flame zone. Yeomans will hang on to that one. And with 1:24 left in the first period, we'll have a face-off in the Flame zone. So the Moncton Rocket, of course, will hang around and wait while these two teams get through their playoffs. Face off, that one's no good, so we'll do that again. 1:22 on the clock here. 5 threes now showing the shots on goal. Flames lead 1-0. I'll see if I can get that official goal between periods here. Puck loose in the slot. Kraken player taken down. Kraken bench didn't like that. Puck just barely held into the blue line by Somerville. Now here comes Folks, Captain Folks. She's knocked off the puck just inside the blue line. Back into the neutral zone. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse goes wide for Polchis. That one's sent deep into the Kraken zone. Under a minute now left in the period. Long pass attempt for Duguay. She gets a stick on it. Stays onside. Now Somerville. Somerville walking in tight. Tried to get to her backhand, but couldn't keep a handle on it. Ends up in the corner. 30 seconds now left in the period. Here's Duguay. Duguay takes a shot attempt. Blocked by Waterhouse with her foot. Duguay again. No, there is going to be a penalty to the Kraken. 18 left on the clock. Kraken heading to the penalty box. So that face-off will come back all the way down the ice here. All the way down here, being the Olympic ice, being a long way. More wide in difference than it is long, but it is definitely big out here. Face-off by Lawrence. She wins it over to Doolan. Doolan walks in tight, tries a shot attempt, makes his way over to the side. Here's Boursier. Boursier, cross ice to Waterhouse, back to Boursier. 7 seconds now left. She takes a shot, skips through the crease. Nobody can get a stick on it. Waterhouse just going to send that to the corner. And that is the end of the first period. Shots on goal, 5-on-3 in favor of the Flames. Flames lead 1-0 on the Lawrence goal. And that ends the first period here on the grad recognition night, and I will rejoin you for the start of the second period. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight on High Button Sports. Thanks. All right, welcome back here for the second period. Just about to get underway here. Hopefully you enjoyed the little tribute to the grads between periods. My own little tribute to them. I was involved in ringette quite heavy for a long time, and actually both Riley and Audrey were players who played for me. Audrey not for very long, at quite a young level. Was on some ringette teams that I coached. Riley, she was on some of my teams for quite some time. In fact, Riley was part of a team that won a banner that's hanging at one end of this rink for me, as old as the U14 age group. So, connection to some of these ringette players. Shot, that one's eaten up. Flames, 1:10 left on the power play. Let's see if we can scoot down here. So, just up there, you see the big 15 Oretto. There's two ringette banners to the left of that. Those are two U14 Tier 1, which would be kind of an A or double A equivalent for hockey banners. And Riley Feltmate was part of a team that won one of those for me. 1 minute left on the Flames power play here. Shot goes off shin pad into the neutral zone. Here's Daigle. Daigle dishes it off to Feltmate. Feltmate cross ice to Polchis. Polchis sends it cross ice for Folks. Misses the target. Makes it into the zone. But that's going to come back. Down to 35 seconds on the power play. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence makes her way to the corner. Puts the brakes on. Takes a shot towards the net. Hit Nelson in front. Took a good bounce, but not good enough. Flames still with it. Here's Doolin. Doolin shot on net. That's going to hit the mesh. And it does. We're going to have stoppage in play. And there are 10 seconds left on the Flames power play. I'll get that clock back in sync. And we're back in sync as the puck skips over Borsier's stick into the neutral zone, coming back the Flames' way, and that's it for the Flames power play. We're back to even strength. 1-0 here in the second period. Shots on goal showing 7-3 in favor of the Flames. And in case you joined us late, we are not in our regular venue on the NHL side of the Grant Harvey Center. We are still at the Grant Harvey Center, but we're on the second ice surface, which is a official Olympic size arena. Most of that extra space comes in the width versus the length. But as a player who plays here quite regularly still myself, that extra ice goes a long way and really changes the game. Here come the Kraken through the neutral zone, gain the blue line. Shot attempt, that misses high. Pinch attempt by Boutelier, gets into the neutral zone. Here's Smith. Smith, she has Sommers. Gillies will hang on to that one, and we'll have a face-off in the Kraken zone. Playoffs begin next weekend for these two teams. They'll face off for the New Brunswick edition. 1, 2, 3, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, next weekend. And then the schedule from there to be determined if needed. The winner of that series, of course, will go on to face the Moncton Rocket to see who gets out of New Brunswick. Yeomans will hang on to that one, and we're at 17:03 of the second period. Still 1-0 for the Flames on the Lawrence from Doolin to goal in the first period. Unclear who the assists were for sure. I didn't get an official result on that, but pretty sure I have that. And face-off, kind of neutral one. Here comes Cook. Gets it in the neutral zone. Cook still with it. Cook sends it across to Polchis. Polchis now cuts to the middle. She's stripped off the puck. Cook sends it back to Boursier. Boursier looks cross ice. Feltmate throws it towards the net. That's blockered off to the corner. And the referee pointed at the net, and then he also just as quickly signaled no goal. So a penalty on the play to Polchis negated the goal. So we have Polchis headed to the box at 16:39. I didn't catch the signal, so a puck in the net for the Flames. Looks like it was negated by a penalty by Polchis. So, face off to the left, the Yeomans. Tied up in the feet of Johnstone. No, that's not Johnstone, that's Lawrence. Puck goes all the way down, Gilly's out to play it. Boutelier behind the net. Nelson puts pressure on her, knocks it free, but it's recovered by the Kraken. Now Boutelier again. She sends it up the left-hand side. Puck just in over the blue line for the Kraken. Kraken on the power play. Setting up. Shot attempt. Doesn't make its way through. Now Duguay tries. Still held in. Lawrence gets it out. Coming down the other way. Boutlier's all the way back. Boutelier mishandles it. Now Duguay couldn't keep a handle on it either. Now Bex is going to give it a try. Here's Bex. Bex tries winding up. Dishes it off for Boutelier. Boutelier through the neutral zone. She's going to gain the blue line herself. Keeps it. Throws it on the net. Puck ends off wide on the side. 55 seconds now left on the Kraken power play. Here's Daigle. Daigle tries chipping it ahead to herself. Sends it deep into the corner. Cook, fresh off the bench, chips it back in. Bex by herself. Throws it into the corner. It's going to be picked up by Waterhouse. Waterhouse is challenged. She's knocked off the puck. Johnstone is there. Puck towards Yeomans. Directed to the corner. Here's Little. Little goes off the shin pads of Johnstone into the corner. Centering puck. And that one will be covered up by Yeomans. We're at 14:45 of the second period. And there's 6 seconds left in the Kraken power play. Polchis in the box. I didn't catch the call. And the Flames lead 1-0 on 9 shots to the Kraken's 5. Face off to the righty, Yeomans. Puck's tied up. Puck set up. And good hands by Mr. Boursier in front of me. Catches that puck. He's got himself a souvenir. He might get that signed by number 2. Face-off coming to the left of Yeomans. 14:37. Back to even strength. Here's Sommers. Sommers up the right-hand side. She banks off the wall. That one's going to go for icing. And that one will come all the way back into the Flame zone for a face-off. 14:20. Second period, Flames lead 1-0 on 9 shots to 5. We'll get the clocks aligned here again. There we go, 14-20. Face off to the right of Yeomans. It'll be Mills. in to take the face-off. Mills wins it clean. Back to the point. Shot. Scramble in front a little bit. Off to the corner. Somers is there. Puts pressure on it. Both referees have arm up here. There's going to be a penalty against the Kraken. So we have one referee signaling a cross-check. Referees both agree. And it'll be a cross-check. And the Flames go into the power play for 2 minutes or less at 14:04 here in the second period. Face-off coming to the left of Gillies. It'll be Lawrence in to take it. She's got Dooland on her right, Nelson on the left. Won by the Kraken, sent down the ice. Race for it. Boursier and Bex. Bex puts pressure on it, but Waterhouse quickly there to help out. And the Flames come out through the neutral zone. Here's Dooland. Dooland gains the blue line. Dooland by herself trying to dance through everybody. Can't get through. Sent all the way back down. Yeomans plays that off softly to her left. 30 seconds now gone in the Flames power play. Boursier has it behind the net. Puts the brakes on. Having a look around. Boursier comes out the right-hand side. Sends it out the left to Waterhouse. Here comes Waterhouse in the neutral zone. Loses a handle on it. Now Bex picks it up. Bex goes cross ice to Boulier. Boulier is going to fire that one all the way down. Boursier gets a stick on it, skips past. She has to recover. Halfway now through the Flames power play. Boursier set up behind Yeomans, waiting for a couple Flames to change. Flames complete the change. Here comes Boursier, sends out the Pulches. Pulches in the neutral zone, dishes it off. Turned over, sent back the other way again. Yeomans again. Dishes it behind the net. 1-on-3. Kraken burning time off that one. Pulches gets a stick on it. That one's going to go all the way down, hit Gillies. Gillies just leaves it. And we have a penalty behind the play, a hold. So the Kraken, short, and the puck going the other way, taking the second penalty on a hold. Didn't catch the number there. Might have been Somerville. So the Flames have 29 seconds here. 5-on-3. Folkson to take the face-off. Pulches backhanded on it in the slot. Scramble. And that one's held on to. Puck was loose. I think the Flames were kind of a little disappointed that. Referee gave himself a tap, recognizing that he couldn't see the puck and blew it down. So we'll do that one again. Good on the referee. He lost sight of the puck. He blew it down. That's what you do as the referee. Sometimes you're wrong. Whoa! And Daigle rips it upstairs. So on senior night, Daigle buries it on the power play. 5-on-3. And the Flames move up 2-0 here on the Kraken. There was just a few seconds left in the first penalty, so the Flames stay on the power play for 1:44 here. Shots on goal showing 12-8 in favor of the Flames. Boursier with it. Boursier sends it up to the neutral zone to Nelson. Nelson chips it ahead to Dooland. Dooland, sharp angle. She can't get the shot off into the corner. Lawrence is there. Lawrence moves to the middle, back to Boursier. Boursier shot. Hits a foot. Puck back deep. Boursier pinches, keeps it in. Goes cross ice. Shot by Waterhouse. Shoveled off to the corner. That was going to be sent the full length. Yeomans is going to lay it behind the ice for Claire. Claire puts the brakes on, has a look. 1 minute even now left in the second, or left in that power play for the Flames. Lawrence gains the blue line, dishes to Dooland. Knock off the puck. Waterhouse is there to back things up. Deep in the corner. Daigle steps up, grabs it, chips it deep. Nelson battling in the corner for it. Backhanded up the wall. Sent across to Daigle. Here's Daigle again. Daigle looking at her options. Walking the line. Sends it to Polchis. Back to Daigle. Daigle, she didn't get all of that one. She was cocked up, but couldn't fire it. 27 seconds now left in the Flames power play. 11 even in the period. Flames leading 2-0. Shots on goal showing 13-8 in favor of the Flames. Face off to the right of Gillies. Folkson to take it. Puck swung back to Daigle. Daigle, she's going to dance at the blue line. She sends it across to Feltmate. Feltmate shot through traffic. Doesn't make its way through. Deep below the goal line. Reversed to Bex. Bex is pinched on the wall. Battle for it below the goal line. Spin and fire attempt. Doesn't get anywhere. That one's going to go all the way down. It's fresh out of the box. Couldn't get a handle on it. I think it was Underhill came flying out of the box. So I guess it's backing up to the... No, sorry, not... sorry. That is Somerville. It was Somerville who was in the box. Came out and got that. Couldn't quite handle it on the breakaway, though. So, 10:26. We're back to even strength, second period. Face off to the right of Yeomans. Kraken win it back. Held in by Somerville. She wraps it deep. Puck along the side of the net. Loose puck. Knocked off to the side. Sommer's fighting for it. Here's Johnstone. Johnstone tries centering it. She's rubbed off the puck. A little bit of ping pong here in the neutral zone. Finally going to be slowed down by Duguay. Duguay sends that to the left-hand side. Broken up in the neutral zone by Kimball. Battle along the wall. Nelson hanging around. See if puck pops out. Comes back to Sommers. Long cross-ice pass to Smith. Couldn't quite handle it. Now Somerville gets over the blue line. Arm up. And we have a interference call. So the Kraken get another chance on the power play as Lawrence heads to the box on the interference call. 9-10 of the second period. Flames lead 2-0. Shots on goal are 13-8 in favor of the Flames. Couple exchange of power play attempts, and now it's the Kraken's turn again. Lawrence in the box for interference. Gillies out to play it. She drops it off. Pressure by Folks. She knocks the puck off. Folks again gets a stick on it. Puck contested in the neutral zone. Chipped ahead. Race for it. Dickey's going to get there. Polchis takes it down. The back referee has an arm up. So that's going to be a penalty on Polchis. Probably a trip, I'm guessing. Front referee didn't call it, but the back referee was all over that one. So 110 in the first penalty to Lawrence. Arm up. As soon as there's a whistle here, Kraken are going to have a two-player advantage. Shot through traffic, and they score! On the delayed penalty. The Kraken score. So the Kraken will get a fresh 2 minutes on the power play as the Lawrence penalty hadn't expired. The coaches are contesting this, but it's first in, first out. That's correct. It negates the penalty in the box, and the penalty that was delayed goes in the box. Referees have this right. I understand the frustration from the coaches, but the stripes in me understands this. It is a first in, first out scenario for penalties. So even though there was a delayed penalty, the penalty in the box is expired first, and the delayed penalty is the one that goes into the box. So they got that right. So fresh 2 minutes for the Kraken on the power play, and it is now 2-1 here at the 8-minute mark of the second period. Johnstone, Cook, Daigle, Waterhouse are penalty killers at the moment for the Flames. And here comes Bex. Bex with some speed through the neutral zone. Gains the zone, puts the brakes on. Bex working below the goal line. Looking at her options. Still Bex. Bex still going with it. Dishes it off to Boulier. Boulier. Shot. Yeomans will hang on to that one. And there's 30 seconds gone in the Kraken power play. Face off to the Ruddy Yeomans. Lawrence in to take it. And that one's blown down. We'll do it over again. Not sure why they didn't like the face off. Didn't quite catch possibly why, but we'll do it over. .126 left in the Kraken power play here. 13-11 the shots on goal showing in favor of the Flames. 2-1 the score. Last time these two teams met. Oh, here. We got something juicy. Short-handed. 2-on-1 to Dooland. Dooland can't keep a handle on the puck. That reminds me earlier. I don't know if you were watching the Olympics. Czechia had a 3-on-0 short-handed against France and scored. That just made that pop into my mind. Puck into the neutral zone. Flames changing. 50 seconds now left in the Kraken power play. Puck directed off to the corner. Folks, she's going to fire it the length of the ice. That's going to kill a few more seconds. Something's blown down, not sure why. What's the blowdown here? Did we have a... We just have an official mess up on that one. So face-off will come to center ice. Wait a second. Should that not be... I would have expected this to be... That should be at center ice. Oh, okay, sorry. I did not see the other penalty call. It is back to 5-on-3. There was another penalty call on the play there. I completely missed that. So, the Kraken on a 5-on-3 here for 20 seconds. 6:21 to go here in the second period. 2-1 for the Flames. Cross ice pass. Dickey in tight. Shot through traffic. Bounces off to the side. 5-on-4 now. Polchi's penalty expires. She's back on the ice. 1:11 remains in the Kraken power play. No arm up on that one. Chipped into the neutral zone. Here's Polchi's. Polchi's all alone. Here she goes. Loose puck. Backhand scores. So 2 seniors involved in that one. Shorty for the Flames. Polchi's in all alone. Couldn't bury it, but Captain Folks followed the play up and chips it in. And the Flames are now up 3-1 on a shorty after spending several minutes down short here in the second period. Sure, the coaches will want to have a message about staying out of the box for the third period. Steady stream to the box for the Flames here in the second. Hang on to the lead nonetheless. 30 seconds now left in this Kraken power play. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the second. Flames up 3-1. Flames, last regular season game tomorrow. Ooh, crunched along the boards down the corner. No call on that one, but it was Kimball. Duguay dancing at the line. Shot on Yeomans. Yeomans will hang on to that one. And we'll have a face-off in the Flame zone. With 4:34 left here in the second period. Back to even strength finally. Shots on goal showing 15-12 in favor of the Flames. Flames going to Moncton tomorrow to play the Rocket at the Avenir Center, 12:30. And I did not look at the schedule. I'm not sure if this is the final Kraken game or if they have a game tomorrow or Sunday that they're hosting as their final regular season game. And then, of course, the playoffs begin, as I mentioned, games 1, 2, and 3 all next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Of course, all three will be here on High Button Sports. The first game here at the Grant Harvey Center in Fredericton, we don't know the time yet, so that one will be determined, but Game 2 and Game 3 are set. Game 2 at the Q-Plex in Quispan, home of the Kraken, and then Game 3 will be Sunday at 11 a.m. here at the Grant Harvey Center next weekend. Here's Feltmate in the neutral zone. She chips it in past Somerville. It's going to go deep into the Kraken zone. Somerville has it behind the goal line. She's going to go off to her left. Down at the side. Pinch by Feltmate. Keeps it in. Somerville again has it. Puck still loose in the neutral zone. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence spins. Throws it towards the net. Scramble in front. Still held in here. 3:26 of the second period. My clock is a little off. I'll catch that back up next stoppage of play. As we're here. Oh, Flames are going to go to the power play. Arm up. Looks like we're going to have Wilcox headed to the box. Cut to the net here by Dooland. And the Kraken tag up. And we'll have the penalty call. Wilcox is the penalty. I didn't catch. We'll see if we can catch the signal here. Wilcox for head contact. So we'll wait and see if it's a 2 or a 4. Looked pretty small to me, and it is indeed only 2. That's what I would have expected there. Face off to the left of Gillies. It'll be Folkson to take it. She wins it back. Comes over to Daigle. Daigle shot through traffic. Gillies will hang on to that one. I'll see if I can get this clock synced back up. We're at the 2:58 mark. There we go. Back in sync. 2:58 on the game clock. 1:55 in the Flames power play. It comes back to Daigle. Daigle cross ice to Feltmate. Feltmate throws it towards the net. Cook gets a stick on it. She's battling in the corner. Puck's loose in front. Folks chips it into the corner. Cook has it. Can't keep a handle on it. Held in by Feltmate. And it's going to come into the neutral zone. Feltmate crunches off. I think it was Bootley as she crunched off. Now here comes Daigle. Daigle gains into the zone herself. Throws it towards the net. Gillies directs it off the corner. Daigle sends it out front again. Now Waterhouse throws it towards the net. That's picked up by Duguay. She wraps around the board. It's going to be held in by Boursier. Boursier sends it along the right-hand side wall. Puck deep. Centering puck for the Flames. Couldn't bury that one. Looked like a great attempt. 50 seconds left in the Flames power play. Kraken get that one down. Yeoman's out to play it. She stops it softly behind the net. Bourcier's going to grab it. Boursier. She's going to carry it. She gains the blue line into the neutral zone. Boursier still with her. She moves it off to her right. Chip below the goal line. 1:30 left to play here in the second period. Flames still 30 seconds on the power play. Shots on goal 18-12 in favor of the Flames. Score 3-1 in favor of the Flames. Puck in the Flame zone. Nelson way out here high. Looking for a stretch pass. Puck's broken up. Deep in the corner. Now Lawrence is going to get there first. Lawrence. She comes cross ice to Dooland. Dooland. She's going to carry it. Dooland. Dances a little. Still with it. Tries a wraparound. Puck ends up in the corner. And we're back to even strength. 50 seconds now left in the period. Backing up is Daigle. Daigle. She chips it into the Kraken zone. She's taken down. Play moves on. Smith. Smith with it in the corner. She's got Sommers. Sommers. And we have another penalty. Another head contact coming. This time it's going to be against the Flames. Smith headed to the box for head contact with 34.3 on the clock. So we'll have a face-off back in the Flame zone to the right of Yeomans. I see Kimball. I see Daigle. Folks and Polchis. 32 left in the period. Boutelier from the point. Shot through traffic. She misses wide right. Daigle has it. Daigle chips it up the glass, held in by Duguay. Duguay backhands it softly into the middle. Daigle breaks it up. Here's Daigle. She's got some steam. Daigle, she's coming. Daigle in tight. Scores! Seconds left in the second period, shorthanded. Daigle picks it off and goes all the way past everybody and buries it. Shorty to make it 4-1 for the Flames here. 13 left in the period, 1:39 left in the Kraken power play. 19-12 the shots in favor of the Flames. And the second period will wind down here. Lawrence going to carry it in. Shovels it softly towards Gillies. There was enough time for one more face-off. 3 seconds left. The 2.9 on the clock. Shot attempt with the short clock. And that'll do it for the second period. When we return, Kraken have a minute 26 left on the power play. Shots on goal are 20-12 in favor of the Flames after two. Flames up 4-1. And we will rejoin you for the start of the third period here on High Button Sports. All right, folks, welcome back here for the third period. Kraken at the Flames here at the Grant Harvey Center in Fredericton on the alternate ice, the Olympic side ice, not our regular venue. As much as I can remember, I don't think the Flames have ever played over here. Under the U15 program, under the Phantoms, I remember having a game or two over here, possibly exhibition games, but we got bumped over here as St. Thomas girls were playing on the other side, and this is their home venue, so we got trumped. We are getting ready to start the third period. The Flames are up 4-1. Shots on goal are 20-12 in favor of the Flames. But the Kraken will start this period with a minute 26 power play. Here on Seniors Night, as I'm sure if you were watching between periods, you saw the reel of our seniors, 5 of them. And we're underway here in the third period. Here comes Little. She gains the Flames zone, drops it off for Bex. Bex, sharp angle shot, doesn't make its way through. Daigle grabs it. She sends it the whole way down the ice. 1 minute even now left on the Kraken power play. 30 seconds gone in the period. Picked off. Shot attempt. Goes wide right by Lawrence. Ice looks a little wet in the kind of crease and just below the goal line area. The rest of it looks all right. 30 seconds now on the Kraken power play. Shot from the point, makes its way down below the goal line, and that one's going to get sent all the way down. Lawrence is chasing it. Gillies out to play it. Gillies fires it up the right-hand side to Gillian. Gillian just inside the blue line. Here come the Kraken. Shot attempt, hits the shin pads, ends up in the corner. And we are back to even strength. Puck in the neutral zone. Comes cross ice to Dickey. Dickey can't get a handle on it. Picked up by Smith. Smith can't keep a handle on it either. It's down below the goal line. Smith putting pressure on it. Nelson reverses it. Smith along the wall. Sends it deep. Here come the Kraken. Dickey through the neutral zone. Loses a handle on it. It's going to be reversed here by Johnstone. Johnstone fishing it over her feet. Can't move it. Stays on side. Now deep in the Flame zone. Here's Johnstone. Johnstone up the left-hand side. Makes its way to the neutral zone. That's picked off. Duguay centers it. Here comes Somers. Somers up the right-hand side, chips into the zone. Back on the stick of Duguay. Duguay sends it the other way. Now it's picked off again. Here comes Folks. Folks to Cook. Cook tried firing it towards the net. Couldn't get much of it. Ends up off in the corner. Polchis sends it deep. She's crunched along the boards by LeBlanc. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc through the neutral zone. LeBlanc, she's got Wilcox on the left. Plays broken up. Back to the neutral zone. Here's Polchis. Polchis deep in the zone. Tries a shot attempt. Doesn't make its way to the net. Approaching the 16-minute mark here, the third period. Flames leading 4-1. Shots on goal, holding at 20-12 in favor of the Flames. Little scramble on side of the net. Scores! Polchis. All by herself at the side of the net. Looked like a harmless scramble, 1-on-3. I thought that was covered up, but puck made its way into the net. And just like that, the seniors piling on the scores tonight. Polchis with the goal. Put the Flames up 5-1 here at the 16-minute mark of the third period. Again, both of these teams can't move in the standings regardless of what happens here today. Nothing changes, and the playoff series already set. Starting next weekend, 20th, 21st, and 22nd, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, games 1, 2, and 3. Game 1 here at Grant Harvey Center, game 2 at the Q-Plex, game 3 Sunday back here at the Grant Harvey Center. Puck won by the Kraken, back to Duguay. She takes a fire at the net, goes wide. Kimball sends up the right-hand side to Nelson. Duguay breaks that play up. Kimball through the neutral zone. This is the target, Dooland. Brought into the zone by the Kraken. Somerville. She's knocked off the puck. Now Boursier reverses it behind the net. Kimball's going to pick it up. Kimball up the right-hand side to Lawrence. Lawrence chips into the neutral zone. LeBlanc grabs it. Nelson dives, knocks it free. Puck in the neutral zone. Here's Johnstone. Johnstone with a little bit of momentum. Johnstone tries taking a shot. She fans on it. Puck along the wall. Pinched off by Smith. Behind the net. Johnstone puts pressure on it. Reversed by the Kraken. Up the left side to Somerville. Somerville chips into the neutral zone for Bex. Here's Bex. She's all alone. She's knocked off the puck. Beck's still with it. Smith tries pinching her off. Boursier comes out with it. Reverses it behind the net. Now Johnstone. Johnstone up the left side to Smith. Held it at the blue line. Knocked off the stick by Eason. Marcia. She resets. Now Boutelier behind the Kraken goal line. She's pressured by Cook. Now Cook tries centering it. Loose puck. Gillies will grab that one. And we're at the 13:46 mark of the third period. Flames up 5-1 on 22 shots to the Kraken's 15 shots. Face off to the right of Gillies. Won by the Kraken. Puck below the goal line. Moved up the left-hand side to Legier. Legier to Gillian. Gillian's kind of taken down. I don't see any arms up, so play moves on. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse backhands it behind the net for Daigle. Daigle, she's got time. Has to catch up to it. Daigle pushes it in the neutral zone. Broken up. Here's Legier. Legier, she takes a sharp angle shot. Yeomans will hang on to that one. And we'll take a face-off in the Flames zone. Flames, last regular season game tomorrow, 12:30 in Moncton at the Avenir Center with the Moncton Rocket. Face-off to the right of Yeomans. Lawrence to take it. One. Back to Little. Little. Shot through traffic. It's broken up. Puck. Backhand in the neutral zone. And by neutral zone, I mean slot. Backhand in the slot. Yeomans will cover that one up. And we are at 13 minutes even in the third period. Face-off deep in the Flames zone to the right of Yeomans. Shots on goal still 22-15 in favor of the Flames. Face-off. Won by the Kraken, but makes its way into the neutral zone. Boulier's all the way back. Puck knocked free. Loose puck. Sorry there, a little late for the camera to catch up. I'm tight against the wall here. Couldn't get that spun fast enough. Johnstone sends it deep into the Kraken zone. She's all alone. Rest of the Flames going for a change. Johnstone goes to put pressure on it. Johnstone pinches it off. Sent back in the neutral zone. Boursier is going to pick it up. Boursier has Feltmate with her. Comes across ice. Feltmate to Johnstone. Johnstone tips off her stick to Smith. Smith in the corner. She's peeled off the puck. Deep pinch by Feltmate. She keeps it in. Now Daigle up the left-hand side. She keeps it in. Down below the goal line, Smith. Puck still working along the wall. Sommers and Johnstone is finally brought out by Somerville. Chipped ahead. Daigle's going to put the brakes on behind Yeomans. She's going to come out the right-hand side. Looks for a long stretch pass. Finds Smith. Smith will dump it in and go for a line change. We're not too far away from the halfway mark of the third period here. Flames up 5-1. Sharp angle shot. That doesn't make its way to the net. Feltmate keeps it in. Chips it into the corner. Cook. She's knocked off the puck. Polchis spins and fires. Polchis keeps it in with a loose stick. That one's fired towards the bench. And we'll have ourselves a whistle. I can appreciate the coaches dodging out of the way there. Last weekend I was at a tournament with my U18 team and I took a hard slap shot in the ribs on the bench. And I'm not going to lie, it hurt. Gotta have heads up over there. Most of the time it's harmless. He misses you, and get out of the way, catch it, grab it. Sometimes you can't. That time I couldn't. And I've got a bruise to prove it. Puck along the wall in the Flame zone. Polchis battling for it. Backhanded below the goal line for Boursier. Boursier sends out the right-hand side. Cook is there. Cook gets it to Polchis. Polchis is 1-on-3. She just pushes it into the corner. Boursier with a deep pinch. Keeps it in. Now Lawrence. Lawrence has it along the wall. Still battling for it. Kraken. Send it down. That one's going to go for icing. And that one will come back to the Kraken end for icing. Couple of jeers coming from the Kraken bench. Nothing comes of it. And we'll have the face-off to the right of Gillies. Gillies looks like she needs a second to fix her mask. Referee recognizes that, blows it. And now we'll have the face-off. Nelson's gonna take it for the Flames. Can't quite catch that number for the Kraken. Puck in the neutral zone. Nelson dishes it off for Daigle. Daigle fires it back up. Here's Dooland. Dooland puts the brakes on. Dooland, she's stripped off the puck. Lawrence goes to put pressure on it. It's chipped up the wall. Kimball tries to pinch. She keeps it in. Back down below the goal line. Here's Boullier. Boullier sends it up the right-hand side. Still deep in the Kraken zone. Johnstone's there to put pressure on it. She's pinned along the wall. Johnstone 1-on-3. Lawrence comes over to help. Puck's in there somewhere. Pops out. Kimball backs up. Somers gets it. And Kimball whip it into the zone. Go for a change. Somers goes to put pressure on it, followed by Johnstone. Johnstone's next on the scene. She keeps it in. Back along the wall. Here's Daigle. Daigle's walking in. Ringette line. Takes a shot. It's blocked. Still loose. Puck loose in front. Johnstone gets a stick on it. Still free. Polcheese takes a stab at it. Sorry, I said Polcheese. That was Eason. The 19 looked like a 10 in the scramble there. 8:20 left here in the third period. Flames leading 5-1, 25-15. The shots in favor of the Flames. Puck up the left side. To Somers. Now Duguay back into the Flame zone. That one was going high over the net, but Yeomans grabs it, and we will have a face-off in the Flame zone. Face-off to the Red Yeomans. Won by the Kraken. Kraken, I'm not keeping tabs here, but I'm thinking the Kraken have won the majority of the face-offs here most of the night. So this one will come back, and it'll be to the left of Yeomans this time. It'll be Folks. Mills. Puck right in tight. Shot attempt that goes over the net. Here's Nelson. Nelson tries firing it up the middle of the Cook. Doesn't get there. Puck down below the goal line. Kraken pressing. Finally pulled out. Through the neutral zone. Here come the Flames. There's Cook. Back to Nelson. Nelson tries backhanding it. Back to Cook. Cook fires it towards the net. That's blocked. 7-minute mark of the third period. Kimball now sends up the right side to Cook. Cook up the middle. Here's Dooland. Dooland blows a bit of a wheel. Gets the puck on net. Reversed behind the net by Boulier. Ricketson tries coming up the right-hand side. She's knocked off the puck. Held in by Daigle. Daigle now fires it from the sharp angle. Still in the corner. Centering to Lawrence. She's digging for it. Now Ricketson up the middle. Flames control it in their zone. Up the right side to Lawrence. Lawrence up to Johnstone. Johnstone, she's stripped off the puck. Feltmate holds it into the blue line, but the Kraken get out anyway. Here's Richard. Richard close to offside. Now Smith. Smith through the neutral zone for the Flames. She's pinned along the boards. Puck goes deep. Somers puts pressure on it. Kraken with control. Duguay pinched off as she approached the blue line by Folks. Now Smith. Smith in the neutral zone. Sends it across. Blue line. Gained by Borsay. She throws it deep. 5-minute mark now of the third period. Flames leading 5-1. Shots on goal 27-16 in favor of the Flames. Flames back in action again tomorrow, 12:30, Avenir Center against the Rocket. And then the playoffs start next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 20th, 21st, 22nd. Kraken and Flames. Shot attempt by Polchis. In tight. Nelson behind the goal line, battling for it. It's blown down. I don't know if we lost sight. Oh no, net's off. Net's off. So face off coming in the Kraken zone with 4:16 left here in the third period. As the regular season for the league comes to a close and playoffs get underway. Back to Daigle. Daigle at the blue line. Shot. Makes its way through, but it's directed off to the right-hand side. Doolin gets it there first. Sends it back. Doesn't get back to Daigle. In tight. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse gets a shot. Gillies gets that one. And we are now at the 4:02 mark of the third period. Face off to the right of Gillies. Won by the Kraken. Chipped up the side wall. Just outside the zone. Daigle can't keep it in. Here comes Duguay. Duguay through the neutral zone. Chips it up. Nelson reverses it behind the net. Kraken are there. Puck a little bouncy there in front of the net. Gillies will hang on to that one with 3:23 now left in the third period. 30-16 the shots on goal now in favor of the Flames. 5-1 score. Johnstone in to take the face off for the Flames. She wins it clean, but that's not good enough. We'll do it again. Get that clock back. 3:22 in the third period. Face off to the right of Gillies. Johnstone didn't win that one clean. And here comes Dickey in the neutral zone. She's peeled off the puck. Here's Eason. Eason chips it ahead for Sommers. Puck deep in the Kraken zone. Pinched by Boursier. Boursier throws it back. Eason now backhands it towards the net. Eason again throws it. Johnstone throws it towards the net. Now Boursier with the pinch again, keeps it in. Kraken below their own goal line. Easton tries to pinch that one off, can't. Along the wall, now Johnstone gets it. Johnstone chips it into the corner. She's taken down. And here come the Kraken. Move it up to Dickey. Dickey's knocked off the puck in the neutral zone. Back on the stick of LeBlanc. A little bit of a game of ping pong here in the neutral zone. Kimball fires it up for Cook. Cook now. We're under 2 minutes left to play here in the third period. Flames leading 5-1, 30-16. The shots in favor of Flames. That one's going to make its way to the neutral zone. Going to be picked up by Daigle. Daigle and Feltmate. Daigle goes to a long stretch pass for Cook. Cook grabs it. Cook looked to fire it to the middle. Ends up on the stick of the Kraken. Feltmate's going to try and pitch that one in, and she does. Sends it to the corner for Cook. 90 seconds now left in this game. Folks, Cook, Pulches working on the puck down here. Pops out. Still held in. It's going to make its way over to the wall. Pulches is going to be there first. Here's Pulches. Sends it back for Feltmate. Feltmate comes across for Daigle. Daigle dancing at the blue line. Ran out of options. Sends it down low. Feltmate again backhands it. Tries to move it to the corner. Final minute now. Here come the Kraken. Nelson tried setting up the left-hand side. Couldn't quite get all of it. She's pinned along the wall. 40 seconds now left on the clock. Puck below the goal line in the Flame zone. Arm up by the referee. And we are going to have a penalty. We have a trip call. So with 33.9 on the clock, trip call against the Kraken, and the Flames will finish this one on a power play. Daigle on the verge of the hat trick, takes a shot, comes back to Feltmate. Feltmate gets it. So a lot of the seniors in the action here tonight. Crowd was cheering for the hat trick from Daigle, but instead Feltmate gets on the board. Feltmate, the other senior, pops that one in, and it is 6-1 with 27 left on the clock. That ends the penalty, and I think we're pretty much going to be done here now. And here's Feltmate coming back. She's going to send it back into the neutral zone. Smith, Johnstone, chipped in. 8 seconds now left on the clock. We're just going to let this one wash away here now. And that'll do it. Here on senior night for the Flames, they cap it off with a 6-1 to win, and they will face the Moncton Rocket tomorrow. Also here on High Button Sports with the call from the Avenir Center. And you will hear from me again for games 1 and 3 of the playoff series between these two teams here at the Grant Harvey Center next weekend. And until then, thanks for joining us on High Button Sports, and have a good one.